Welcome everyone to Let's Play with Dev Commentary, TFTC Reimagined. I am Angel, your host, and we are resuming Battle 8, Mission 4 today. And we're going to try and capture the mag pulse technology again. Our intelligence network has uncovered the rebels' source for the mag pulse weapon, which was used against the ZA-13 facilities and the convoy supplying it. With the obvious tactical advantage this weapon can offer us, Vice Admiral Thrawn has personally decided to lead the assault. Upon arrival, our forces will launch from the Victory-class Star Destroyer Stalwart. TIE fighter groups will engage any enemy fighters, whilst you and your wingmen in TIE defenders will use heavy rockets to quickly bring down the shields of the rebel platform, then disable it for capture. You will then support our other fighters in eliminating any remaining rebel resistance. There are rumors that the rebels have a new experimental starfighter, but information is extremely limited. Expect the... Yes, this is the introduction of the T-Wing to TIE fighter. This is what happened in the classic version as well, where the T-Wing showed up and was shit, basically. He had access to this technology himself.
Disable any craft fleeing from the platforms, or forces can capture the...
Yeah, I mean, the T-Wing doesn't really show up again until, I want to say Battle 10, perhaps. I'm certainly using them for Nami forces, because we can basically say, yeah, that we made this fighter, but it's kind of crap, so we'll just sell it as this kind of crappy fighter to third-party factions and pirates and whatnot. The Victory Star Destroyer Stalwart will hyper in to launch the assault. You, along with Assault Transport Leopard, will disable the platform, whilst TIE Fighter Groups Alpha and TIE Advance Group Delta deal with any enemy defenders. Once the platform has been disabled, troops will land to secure the facility and retrieve the mag pulse warheads. Be aware of any potential rebel reinforcements. They may try to destroy the facility before we can secure it, or attack the Stalwart directly. Okay, so again, this mission is not too different from the original. Apart from more ships, the Stalwart was with us from the beginning. In the original, well, it's called the Skeletor, arrives towards the end of the mission, and the modified corvettes Murat, which were present in the last mission of Reimagined, are present as reinforcement ships here instead. But otherwise, it opens up the same, get an initial clash of fighters. There's a couple of escort shuttles flying about as well. And yeah, just rocket the station and you quickly capture it. Where the mission gets more different is once you've captured the station, or at least have neutralized it, there'll be significant rebel reinforcements here.
We're under fire. The rebels are launching some kind of fight design.
So yeah, you can hear it. I call attention to the fact that T-Wings are here, but they get worked out so quickly that you might barely have time to actually engage them. But the whole point there was to say, here's this new fighter. Oh, they're all dead already. They're crap.
Dropping like flies.
You see, they're dropping like flies, I just said. And here we go, we've got 3 corvettes coming in, and quite honestly, this is very easy to deal with as long as you keep your supply of rockets. Maybe just use a couple of rockets to hit the station. As long as you have 6 more rockets, you can basically take out all 3 corvettes here in one pass, assuming your aim is true. If you don't, they will be a bit more difficult to deal with, but you've basically got 2 or 3 minutes before those corvettes get within range of the station, and we'll shoot them. I should say that again, I've changed this a bit for version 1.3. This isn't quite the same as the current version of 1.2, but because I've made some changes in terms of failure points and just tightened up the mission in terms of what can be a threat to the player and the station in this one. Yeah, whilst we're dealing with this, we'll have X-Wings firing the mag pulse at us. this was one mission where, before we changed the mag pulse to be the same as the original TIE Fighter behaviour, that it became a bit of an annoyance, actually. Because in the original behaviour of X-Wing Alliance, the mag pulse disables your weapons for 20 seconds, much like it does for capital ships. But in the original TIE Fighter, what it does is just drain your weapon energy, which is now what it does. Which is a much more of a minor inconvenience than being simply unable to shoot for 20 seconds, especially if you're being hit regularly. In worst case, your weapons are a bit underpowered and you can't do a sudden shift of power to your shields for a few seconds at least.
Another wave of rebel
And then of course we have a third wave of reinforcements here, and this wave is basically a bunch of bombers with a few fighter escorts that will attempt to attack the stalwart. If you completely ignore them, it is possible for the stalwart to die, but I think only on harder difficulties is that really a problem. I think I missed my rockets on this one Corvette, but it's got too much coming in at it. Very nicely and easily taken out, certainly in a Defender. I mean, the whole purpose of this mission really is kind of to set up the finale, and how, at least how the finale of Battle 8 plays out, because the last mission with the with Thrawn ships trapped, you have to use the mag pulse to keep disabling the enemy capital ships. So it's kind of setting up the gameplay narrative of the next mission. But for Reimagined, I think a bit more can be done with this in using the mag pulse again in the future. But I have yet to actually find a use for this yet. But this will be the last time we directly engage the rebels for some time, in Reimagined certainly. Battle 9, there is no rebel engagement at all. Battle 10, there's at least one mission where you will engage some rebels, but that's 7 missions total. So Battle 11, that's one I haven't really fleshed out too much yet in terms of design work. Battle 12 will be entirely rebel focused, and it will be longer than the classic version. This will be one of the only Reimagined battles that will be longer than its classic counterpart. So I have 9 missions planned for Battle 12, because I plan a lot of X-Wing Alliance campaign crossovers with the TIE Fighter story, because I thought that would be cool to have the two stories kind of converge and cross over, and then just reimagine how that would have worked. So yeah, as I said in my previous video, I'm not too happy with the state of the Battle 8 story in terms of it making tactical sense what Thrawn has been doing, or at least the Empire's been doing here, trying to save its plants. But the shift of the narrative to the mag pulse, at least, I don't really have too much of a problem with. I think the real issue is the ZA-13 section of the plot that could really use improvement. Another quick change I made to this mission, it actually took a bit longer to have Transport Omega do its docking. because there's actually 2 transports in Omega Group which would do its docking, but the second one would only come once the first one had finished, and it's quite a long drive from the Stalwart to here. So I changed it so the Omega 2 has a holding pattern close to the station, so that it quickly does its job once the Omega 1's done its job as well. So there's less waiting around. And there we go.
You have helped us capture a very important rebel structure. We are now in possession of the MagPulse technology. You've completed your mission. You may return to the Stalwart.
I'm already in the Stalwart. We were successful in our mission to capture several working copies of the MagPulse warhead. Unfortunately, whilst this operation was underway, the ZA-13 facilities came under attack by more of Zaarin's forces. Initial reports indicate that Zaarin's fleet was successful in destroying the plant, along with both Nebulon B frigates we left behind to defend them. Latest reports state that most of the other remaining TIE Advance factories have also fallen. Zaarin... I think, again, that's another thing. I say the latest reports state most of the remaining factories have also fallen, but there's been no real establishment of other facilities. We've said that Omar is the main facility, whereas ZA-13 is like a smaller facility. So again, this is something I think that could be fleshed out more as part of Battle 8.
Developing and manufacturing the MagPulse weapon aboard the platform. Excellent work.
Sir. No new memorabilia. And no new emails. So, there we go. That concludes this mission. Just one more mission to go, and then that's the Reimagined campaign completed. So, join me next time for the finale of the current state of the Reimagined campaign. And until then, good hunting.